We're going to let everybody get in. Welcome, everyone, to our live this morning. And we're coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii, from Here For You Life Coaching. So, what we do is we talk about manifestation, we talk about true manifestation. So, true manifestation comes from your subconscious. It doesn't involve any spells, it's not so mystical, but it is mystical in the way that you're a human being. Good morning, Jules. And it is magic in the way that you're a human being. You're the highest intelligence on the planet. Okay, so we want to we see you guys here filing in. So we've been doing this on TikTok and today multiple platforms. So we are on multiple platforms across the world right now this morning, and we're talking about manifestation because if you suffer from stress, if you suffer from anxiety, if you suffer from these things, okay, if you suffer from depression, just know that your subconscious memorizes all of these things. And pretty soon, anxiety becomes a habit. Pretty soon, when you're anxious, right, you're in the habit of being anxious. So your subconscious gives you more of what you're focused on, right? And if you're focused on anxiety, it just goes in your subconscious and then you get more of that. So, we discussed the law of attraction, but more so, we discussed the subconscious mind. Now, here's a book that I recommend to everybody. I recommend this book to everyone. I don't receive anything from it or anything, but this is Dr. Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Now, it's very important. It's very important to note that everything comes from your subconscious. There is only the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious. Okay, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Now, my book here is The Universal Law of Attraction and Singing. I wrote this book years ago. This book is what happens when vocalization is applied to the human being. So people change their lives through their voice all the time. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning. All right, welcome. And so people change their lives through their voice all the time at my school. And my clients, I work with, some pretty important people, and they all do vocalization exercises. Now, the four pillars are the four pillars of manifestation. Okay, so we're talking about affirmations, meditation, visualization, and vocalization. Those are the four pillars. Now, between the four, when you direct all four at one thing, it's pretty powerful because that thing will manifest. Okay, you will bring it into your world. Now, what happens is the conscious mind, right, gives instruction to the subconscious. The subconscious will then give you ideas on how to proceed to your goals. So, maybe the idea is like a new car. Maybe that's the topic, new car. Your subconscious hears new car, and your subconscious goes, oh, okay, new car. Maybe save some money. Maybe make a loan. Maybe, a variety of things, right, that will take you in steps to your goal. Good morning, Ace. And so, when you apply things to your subconscious takes you in baby steps to your goal. Now, the subconscious communicates with the superconscious. Now, the superconscious or consciousness, okay, is what we're all a part of. And the energy, whatever you call the energy that you have in here, if you want to call it, a spirit, if you want to call it energy, if you want to call it a soul, okay, if we get real technical, we can say that this is a spirit, or that we can say that this is energy. Now, if we could say that that's energy and everything is energy, then the superconscious is what assists the subconscious through energy. Okay, and it's all in here. Jesus Christ told us the kingdom is in here. The kingdom is within. Everything is inside of you. There's no out there. The only thing out there is nature, and everything else is from another person's in here, right? That's all that's out there. So everything is in here. Everything you need is in here. Everything that you want to manifest comes from inside. It comes from in here. You begin to attract things into your life, but you attract them through the steps necessary to get to the goals. So we can call them goals, or we can call them, objects of manifestation. So and don't forget to share the live, guys. Okay, thanks. So we can call it that. Okay, but you should always set goals. You should always have goals for everything. I remember when I first started out, I first started out in entertainment years and years and years ago. And one of the first things I did, I used to sit in a club and play guitar, like all by myself, like a solo gig. And I had to aim higher, and I knew I had to aim higher. I didn't know exactly how to get there, right? But here's the thing: the how is always God's job. Okay, God is real, and God will work for you. Now, if you want to call it God, if you want to call it source, if you want to put a different label on there, okay, but that's real. Okay, now that's the superconscious at work, and the superconscious will lead you to your goals. Okay, it will take you in baby steps to your goals. Now, I always recommend baby steps, and the reason I do that is because if you take a giant step and you find that maybe you need to make a correction, it's going to be a bigger correction. But if you take baby steps, it's like sticking your toe in the swimming pool to see if the water's too cold, right? And if it's too cold, oh, okay, baby step, right? You can take it back. You can step in another area, like, oh, not over there. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, not over there. Let's go back over here. Like that. In baby steps. If you take a giant leap forward and you have to correct that, that's a lot of work. So remember, baby steps. Now, with the subconscious mind, the subconscious is a lot of people have heard about it. A lot of people, take it for granted. A lot of people don't really realize that your subconscious is always working. And of course, we're going to recap and we're going to say that there's two trains of thought of the subconscious. One is that it's a state of mind. One is that it's a culmination of all of your senses. Okay, and that's the more spiritual definition. And with my clients, I work more on a spiritual level than I do on a scientific level. And the reason for that is because there is a lot of there's a lot of magic, if you will, not in the magic sense like a magic show, not that kind of magic, but there is a lot of let's say wonder, or a lot of like whoa, like aha moments when the subconscious communicates with the superconscious, and the superconscious providing the subconscious with the baby steps. So you know how when you take baby steps towards something, the right people show up, right? And then you meet the right people, and then that person introduces you to somebody, and then boom, you get your goal. Okay. So like you plan, first step, second step, third step. And then, like, before you get to the sixth step or whatever, how many steps you plan, right? You get taken out to left field and boom, it happens. How do you explain that? How do you explain when you start taking steps that the right people come into position? That you meet the right people, or they refer you to the right people, and then we look at these things as coincidences, right? But there are no coincidences. Either you believe everything's a coincidence or nothing's a coincidence, either way. But if you stick to the position that there's no coincidence, that everything happens for a reason, that everything in the universe is intelligent, then you can start to see these things. So it's very real. It's very it's very tangible to see when you start to recognize, or let's say raise your awareness, and you start to recognize the synchronicities. Okay, so the synchronicities. What are synchronicities? Well, synchronicities is like when maybe you're standing on the street corner and you're talking to your friend about the steak dinner you're going to go to this weekend, and you see the meat truck drive by. Okay, now online it's a different thing, okay? Online it's advertising and they cookie you. So yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot of coincidences online, because the things that you like or the websites that you visit, you're gonna see ads for. So that's a totally different thing. But synchronicities in the world, synchronicities in your life, like when you're thinking about something or talking about something, and you look out on the street and you see that thing pass by, or you see that television commercial, or you hear that radio commercial come on about the thing you were just talking about. Those are synchronicities. Now, in our society, we are suffering from societal hypnosis. Okay, I don't know if you really want to go there with me, but societal hypnosis. Okay, when you stop at the light, like the red light, okay, everybody's like this, waiting for the light to change, waiting for the light to change. Okay, that's part of the societal hypnosis, okay, or patterns. And these patterns are subconscious patterns that have been formed as a result of, people just having to go through processes. Like the girl that scans your groceries and stuff, dude, that kind of stuff, like she probably has dreams about that, right? But she has become machine like, okay? And that's all subconscious action. So her body learns to do it better than she does, better than her conscious mind. Her subconscious learns how to do it better. So we have questions. Rana, good morning, Rana. How to deal with a colleague at work trying to act as a manager? We have common tasks working on. I couldn't tolerate him. He is trying to prove himself on others' account. You mean he's trying to? I don't understand how you mean that. He's trying to prove himself on others' account, or he's trying to is he manipulating other people to try to look better at work? Is that what you're saying, Rana? So we're taking questions live on TikTok, but we are on multiple platforms this morning. Actually, on 5 different platforms. So you can submit questions on TikTok, and we'll take them over there. Rana, could you clarify that, and I will answer your question. So I take it by the question that your colleague at work is not a manager, but he's acting like a manager. So is he telling you what to do? Yes, he is trying to give me tasks and am fed up. He doesn't understand the process. Ah, okay. So he's trying to dump work on you. That's what you're saying. And he doesn't want to understand. I see, Rana. Okay. So, Rana, the way you deal with things, people, whenever you allow people to do things to you or allow certain things, okay, and this is where boundaries come in, but yeah, when you work on the 4 pillars of manifestation and when you start working on confidence, the boundaries are automatic. You don't need to like consciously form boundaries, that kind of thing. But I will tell you that if you allow, whatever you allow to happen to you will happen to you if you allow it. So you have to say something. You have to, and even though, hey, Cookie Monster, good morning. and even though he doesn't want to understand, you have to make it clear. You have to come out and you have to voice your concern. Now, it can be in a very nice way, okay? It could be like, excuse me, but I really don't feel, come from I, okay? Always come from I. And say, I really don't feel like I should be doing this or whatever it is. And yeah, so I get it. But just know that whatever you allow will continue to happen, okay? And it's sort of like, when you're training a pet, right? Whatever the pet can get away with, they will get away with, right? Whatever, children are like that too, okay? Now, if you're going to, form a pattern with him, so everyone has a paradigm, okay? So humans have multiple paradigms, and your paradigm is your beliefs on a certain thing, based upon, like your paradigm forms your actions based upon what you believe. So, oh, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Rana. So yeah, so your paradigm is your understanding of things, okay, and that will create your actions. So you'll start acting on what you believe to be true in your paradigm. So in order to change your paradigm with him, right, you'll have to sort of like put your foot down, okay, but in a nice way and be polite about it. Thank you, Rana. Really appreciate that. So yeah, just be really nice and come from I. When you come from you, when you start telling someone, you can't make me do that, you're not the boss, that kind of thing, they get defensive. It's easy to put somebody on the offense like that. So what you want to do is you want to always come from I and go, I really don't feel, and come from your feelings. I really don't feel that I should be, told to do this, or that I should be doing this, or, like that. Thank you, Rana. I appreciate you sharing the live. So, so paradigms, okay? Now you have different paradigms for different people. For like everything, humans have multiple paradigms. You often hear people say like, "Oh, you have to change your paradigm." Okay, so when they tell you like you have to change your paradigm, you have to know what paradigm you're changing, okay? Because your paradigm is what you believe to be true about something, and that starts to form your actions and habits. So, the way that you behave and we're going to just talk basic behavior patterns. Okay, the way that you behave with your coworker is one thing. The way you behave with your spouse is another. The way you behave with your children is another. The way you behave with your parents is another. So these are all separate paradigms. These are all, you have a general sense of understanding about your parents, about your spouse, about your kids. So we tend to react differently. You're not going to behave the same way with all of those people. So so yeah. So just know that, and just know that you have to just change your paradigm with him, okay? And you will only get what you allow. What you don't allow, or we don't want to. I don't want to use a strong term like pushback, but I do suggest that you voice your concern, and you can respectfully decline. Okay, that's a nice way to put it. Okay, so in this book, right? In my book, you can get my book on Amazon. It's been there for years now. The thing that we really want to say that happens in my book is how the human voice can calm you and soothe you. And this is actually scientific. This is not like, this is not like we're assuming this happens. This is actually a hormonal response that happens in your brain. Okay, so what happens with your neurotransmitters, they start producing anxiety hormones for anxiety. Okay, so we're talking about oxytocin, we're talking about endorphins, we're talking about GABA levels, we're talking about all these things that help to calm you from the inside. Now your voice, or vocal expression, if you will, is very very useful to calm people, to get you to a state of calm. So in this book, and you can check it out, if you send me an email, junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com, you will get a PDF copy of my book absolutely free, just for being on the live this morning. So just write to me, junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com, and say, hey, send me the book. So what's really important that we found about the human voice, and this was way back in 2007 when I went down the rabbit hole, was that your voice makes you confident. Okay, but confidence is a relaxation. Confidence is a relaxed, just chill feeling inside. Okay, that's what confidence is. Confidence is not like, going around like that, like posturing. That's not confidence. So confidence is a really chill inner feeling. And how that happens is when you hit notes, when you sing notes with expression, or let's say with velocity, with wind speed, okay? What happens is it triggers the endorphins. It triggers the oxytocin, okay? It triggers the neurotransmitters that produce these hormones. And then you start to calm, right? And you can get the whole thing, you can get the science of confidence. Let's see if we can get that page up, because we have a new setup today. So let's see if we can get that, the science of confidence. Yeah, so that's not gonna happen today. We don't have that set up properly. But anyway, yeah, you can go to the website. There's only 2 tabs, okay? So there's the About Us tab, and there's a Science of Confidence tab. So you can read it for yourself. But yeah, there's a lot to say about it. One of the things that has happened, I mean, I can tell you a few stories. There was this lady that was one of my clients, and her husband died in a boating accident 2 months after they were married, and he died in her arms in the water in a boating accident. And when she came to me, she was like this, like she was shaking. Okay, a lot of anxiety, a lot of, I mean, you can imagine, right? That was very traumatic, and it was a very traumatic experience. So working with her, I think we did 9 months. We worked together for 9 months. In 9 months, no shakes. She was solid. She was good to go. And it was just the expression from her voice that got her there. Okay, it was other things that we say, other things, ideas that we give as well. But the vocal training was, sure. Sure, it's Junior. I'll put it in the comments. But yeah, so let me write this real quick. Hang on, you guys. And I'll send you the book. There you go. Okay, so my email's in the comments. So yeah, So the human voice can heal you. We're not making medical claims, but your voice can calm you if you use it properly. And what we do is we take people on these straight tones. In the spiritual community, we call it toning. Okay, there's this thing called toning, and our process is a little bit different than that. I don't want to. It's not exactly like toning. What we do is pretty unique, but we do it in such a way that we started doing it with singers. And then we started noticing their confidence level, like little kids, 7 and 8 year old girls sticking their chest out and just puffing their chest and singing like that, real confident like that. And so in 2007, the question was like, what's doing this? And we got a variety of answers and went down a series of rabbit holes to find the answers for this. And but we arrived at the conclusion that, okay, this is the hormonal activation that happens within the human brain. So yes, my email is junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com. It's in the comments. There you go. Thank you, Rana. So yeah, it was just a matter of these hormones that were being triggered, and neurotransmitters that were being triggered, and people started calming, and it started calming. So we started using this in life coaching, and when we started using it in life coaching, we got amazing results. Okay, like people, executives that I teach that don't even sing. They're not even they're not even singers, right? But they're doing these tones, and it's calming them. It doesn't matter really who you are. It just matters that you're a human being, right? So we understand that nowadays there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of angst out there. People don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of fear. Now, just know that all the negative emotions are rooted in fear, okay? All the negative emotions are rooted in fear. All the what ifs are also rooted in fear. Are you worried? Are you worrying? Okay, so worry is like praying for something bad to happen, okay? So when you go through that worry process, there's all the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I do this? What if I do that? What if this happens to me? What if that happens to me? All the what ifs are rooted in fear as well. So you have to know that the what ifs are the things that you should stay away from, okay? So don't worry, you can redirect your mind when that happens. And the two favorite words that we have are no and stop. And when you do that, you can redirect your thoughts. Okay, so fear is thought-based. Everything that you fear is thought-based, or you're thinking about something that's making you fearful. So I'm here to tell you, you can change your thoughts. Okay, now another important piece of equipment is this right here, a pen. This is probably the most important piece of equipment that you'll ever have, because this can change your mind. This affirmations, I am so happy and grateful now that, right, I have that new job. Okay, and be specific. I have that new job at XYZ Corporation. Thank you. And write that affirmation daily and speak it out loud at night. Okay, now that's the affirmation part. So you want to have a good affirmation. Now, a lot of the affirmations I see out there, people are, using negative words in the affirmations. So just know that your subconscious and the superconscious don't recognize negatives, okay? And your subconscious does not know fantasy from reality. So your subconscious, like my subconscious right now, does not know if I'm speaking to you or if I'm speaking to myself. Okay, so that's why it's so important to be aware of your speech. Okay, the only reason, the biggest reason to be aware of your speech is that whatever you say is going into your subconscious as well. And your subconscious can't tell if you're saying it to someone else or if you're saying it to yourself. So that's why, people say, oh, guard your speech, guard your speech. And, I worked in radio for years and years and years. And for like 40 years, I did like part-time radio work. And in radio, it's very important not to use foul language, because then you end up accidentally using it on air. So one of the things I did was I stopped swearing the minute I walked into a radio station. Now, when I walked out of the radio station, yeah, I was human. But in the radio station, I would never swear, because I didn't want to take the chance of accidentally doing it live on the air, that kind of thing, right? But you should guard your speech in general, okay? Because your subconscious is listening, okay? Now, your subconscious, human beings are far more sensitive than we would like to acknowledge. Okay, but we are very, very sensitive. We're the only beings that can observe themselves in motion. Okay, so you can observe yourself in motion. Now, why is that good or bad? Well, it's good, but it's also bad because you start critiquing yourself in motion, right? You start correcting yourself because you see the mistakes that you make. Okay, so your subconscious also, will point out. You'll remember these things, and then you'll start thinking about it. And this is called negative self-talk. And negative self-talk is the negative talk that you say in your head about yourself, right? So negative self-talk happens, and what happens when that happens? Low self-esteem. Okay, so that begins to happen. Now, when you're in this situation, right, and you start believing things about yourself that aren't even true, maybe someone told you that. Years and years ago, I remember when I was about 12 or 13, and I told this story the other day. My mom told me that I was clumsy. And it wasn't until I was about 40 years old that I had a conversation with one of my girlfriends, and she said, "No, you're not clumsy." And so I had to observe myself for 2 weeks. And then at the conclusion of about 2 weeks, I go, "Yeah, okay, I didn't do anything clumsy. I guess I'm not clumsy." So these things stick in your head. Chapter 5 in my book, I have to look at the chapter to tell you what it is specifically, but the earth shattering carelessness of authority is chapter 5 in my book. And in my book, the reason why I mentioned that is because there were many people in my career that came up to me as a result of things that were told to them by other people that they had respect for, people in authoritative roles, like one of them was a professor. And this lady came to me when she was 42 years old, and she goes, my college professor, when I was singing, told me I should find something else to do. And so she just shut down. She just didn't sing anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, so let's try. And we got her singing. We got her singing within a couple of weeks. She was singing, and we got her really good in a couple of months. Excuse me. And so, why is it Creator Queen? Why is it so easy to be okay with everything? You have to be more specific than that. What do you mean okay with everything? Like, what kind of okay with everything are you talking about? Let me know. Okay. Thank you, Jules. So yeah, Creator Queen. Can you elaborate on that question for me? How do you mean that? It's not okay to be okay with like bad stuff. So yeah, just elaborate for me. So we're doing our chat live on TikTok right now, but we are on 5 different platforms. So and if you want to get in touch with me, it's junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com, or just go to the website hereforyoulifecoaching.com and you can email me. You can email me from the site either way. So anyway, right? So we're talking more about the subconscious, right? And negative self-talk. So this lady gets told by her professor that she needs to find, something else to do. So she didn't sing. She just clammed up because it became her paradigm, right? That she could not sing. And that wasn't true, because when we auditioned her, the very first, before we worked on her, before we gave her any exercises or anything, she could sing. So, but this is what, authoritative figures do when they speak carelessly, or even when they speak irresponsibly, even when they say something that they shouldn't really be saying. Okay, and because they're authoritative figures, or because they're people you look up to, or they could be your parents, or they could be your grandparents, or they could be a significant other. Because they're someone you respect, you start thinking about it, okay? And then it becomes a belief, okay, in your subconscious. And your belief constructs your paradigm. Now you need to work on that paradigm. You need to change that paradigm, okay? But you're so sophisticated and sensitive as a human being that you can process all of this stuff. But when you start processing it against yourself, that's when it's not good. Okay, so yeah, Creator Queen, can you elaborate on your question? I'd be happy to answer for you. Why is it so easy to be okay with everything? I don't know. I'm not okay with everything. So anyway, we're taking questions live on TikTok, and we are on multiple platforms. So yeah, we'd like to say aloha from Hawaii and good morning to you. We do this 7 days a week. We've been doing it on TikTok for a few weeks now at 7 every morning, and we expanded yesterday to include 4 other networks. So anyway, wherever you're seeing us from, we want to say aloha from Hawaii. So negative self-talk works against you because they form limiting beliefs about yourself. Now, these beliefs can create anxiety. These beliefs can be rooted in fear. Now, not all those beliefs are going to be negative, right? Some of them are positive. Some of the things that you believe about yourself are positive. Some of the talents that you have, some of the abilities that you have, some of the traits that you have are going to be good ones, right? But then there's the bad ones that kind of, it kind of construct a little wall. And what we do is we break down these walls because it's important to break down the walls. Boundaries are one thing, right? Boundaries are one thing. But when you have, hi Rana, hey Wizar, good morning. Sandy, want to say good morning? Cookie Monster's with us. All right, we see you guys. We see you guys. So, but yeah, when you're experiencing negative self-talk, okay, it starts to limit you because it starts to work on your self-esteem, and your self-esteem goes down. Okay, the way you view yourself is very important. Okay, so you have to uphold that. Okay, now I have a bunch of tips that we were going over yesterday. We were talking about mirror work, self-esteem boosters, self-formations. So for the people that weren't with us yesterday, I wanted to go over self-formations. Now you can do this with your cell phone, okay? And it's not CELL formations. It's not self formations. It's SELF, self formations, okay, for yourself. And what you do is you write down 100 positive I am statements. I am generous. I am kind. I am a good husband. I am a good wife. I am a good sister. I am a good brother. Write out 100 of them. Now, when you're done, I want you to go to your phone and get your recorder. Okay, so you know where your recorder is, right? On your phone, your recorder. And you hit your recorder, okay? I want you to hit your recorder. I want you to speak it all. Read them one at a time and read all 100 of them, okay? Now, it might take a few minutes. Probably is going to take a few minutes. And then what you're going to do is you're going to listen to it and play it back once a day. The reason why it's going to work so well is because it's your voice, and it's done in your voice, and your subconscious hears you very well. Your subconscious is used to hearing you all the time, right? So it's much more powerful than if you were to listen to another person read affirmations, like, the kind you get on YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, so it would be a lot more productive and it would work a lot faster. So try that. That works. You don't have to spend money. You can just write down 100 IAMs, read it on your phone, on your recorder, and listen to it every day, at least once a day. Okay, so Jason, good morning, Jason. Welcome. So we have our live chat going on TikTok, and Jules is our moderator, and she's moderating live on TikTok, and we are on YouTube as well. Other platforms we don't want to mention because we don't want to trigger algorithms. Anyway, so yeah, good morning and aloha from Hawaii. Now, about your subconscious, okay? So your subconscious does not know fantasy from reality. It doesn't know if you're getting a bill for something or if you're getting paid for something, okay? So always use it towards your advantage, okay? You can actually write thank you on one of your bills, okay? Rhonda Byrne taught us that a long time ago with the Secret documentary. Okay, we want to give Rhonda Byrne credit for that. But she said, yeah, you can just write thank you on a bill that you get because your subconscious doesn't know if you're getting paid or if you have to pay a bill. So use it for your advantage. Anything that you want to use for your advantage, you can use for your advantage as far as your subconscious goes because you can write it, speak it, think it into existence, okay? Or let's say it another way, you can write it, think it, and speak it into a belief. Now that belief will form your paradigm, and that paradigm will form your actions, and your actions get you results. And that's the way it works. That's the only way it works, okay? So it's not magic. It's not witchcraft. I mean, I know it would be fun, right? It would be fun just saying this these magic spells and then walk outside and see a brand new car in your driveway. That would be cool. It would be really cool. But yeah, it's not. It's not that way. It's your subconscious. Okay? Every human being can do the same thing. Now take a look around you. Okay? Take a look around you at everything you have. Take a look at all of your friends. You know that old expression? Show me five of your closest friends and I'll tell you who you are. Okay, look at all your friends, look at all of your things, look at the way your house is. Look, is it organized? Is it messy? Is it well kept? Whatever. Look around. Okay, because all of these things you have manifested. Okay, you can tell a lot about a person by the way their desk is at work. Okay, or is their desk cluttered? Is things all over the place, all disorderly? Then that's a reflection of what's going on inside. Okay, everything on the outside is a reflection of everything on the inside. We're going to go over the 12 spiritual laws tomorrow. So that's one of the things we'll be going over tomorrow. We're trying to get everything organized so that with our live chats and things, so that we can bring these things to you. I think we can go over now. I think we can go over to the desktop now and take a look. I think, yeah, there we are. So here we have, if we can kind of get this to go. I gotta smash this in the corner. Let me see if we can do this in the middle. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, there's the website. Okay, this is the science of confidence over here. So I don't know how well you guys can see this. If you're on your computer, you may see it better than if you're on your phone. But this is the science of confidence, and the mastery program that we have. That's actually a confidence mastery program. Is we use these techniques through the human voice. Okay, now these techniques, like I said, stimulate endorphins. See over here, endorphins. Okay, oxytocin, dopamine levels, GABA levels, and cortisol reduction. All of these things right here, and you can read this if you go to the website hereforyoulifecoaching.com and then click on the science of confidence. There's only 2 tabs on the website. Very accessible. We wanted everybody to be able to see this right away. And this will give you a life-changing shift, because it will shift you. These things are very significant and they work very quick. I have this one girl, she's a new client, and I've only been working with her for 3 weeks now, and she was incredible yesterday. And yesterday was only her 3rd session, and she is calming. I mean, her confidence, you can see the look in her eyes. So the eyes are the mirrors of the soul, and the voice is the mirror of the feelings and emotions. So when you know how to look at a pair of eyes and you know how to listen to a voice, you can tell a lot about a person. And she is like becoming super confident, and her voice is becoming very powerful. Now there's a metaphor there, right? Find your voice, find yourself, but it's true. Because yourself, your energy, is what you're projecting when you use your voice. Okay, it's an expression of yourself. It's self-expression. Self-expression is very, very powerful. Self-expression is very good for your confidence. But what do most people do? They kind of like hide in here, right? They kind of like stay in here. So when my clients come to me, they're like this. They're like that. And slowly they loosen up, and slowly they go like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and then open. Okay, so in order to become open, okay, you have to express. You have to get all the junk out. You have to get all that negative energy out. You have to push it all out, because when you do that, you get to a place where confidence is calm, right? You get to that calm place, and you get to that feeling that you get when you're calm. And that feeling is, I want to say, yeah, it's awesome, because, once you get calm and you get centered, you make better decisions. Better decisions, right, end up with better results. So you get better results like in everything in your life. It's not just it's not just a matter of, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to be confident for this, that, and the other thing. No, you're going to be confident for everything. It's not just with your voice. But yeah, we want to get back to, so I'm trying, this is our first day working with our system, and we're looking for We're looking. There we go. Okay, and we're kind of like playing around in the background over here. We're looking for our stuff. So, but anyway, if there's any questions on TikTok, you guys can ask questions. Okay, and we will go and look on our monitor screen. So we have our screen and we see your questions. Okay, we have people filing in. Alfonso, Amy, hi Amy. Okay, so want to say aloha from Hawaii this morning. So another thing that the subconscious is responsible for. Okay, it's responsible for your manifestation. It's also responsible for your anxiety. Okay, when you live in a state of anxiety, when you get used to being anxious, your body learns to live in a perpetual state of anxiety, or it learns to repeat it, and it repeats it often because it becomes a pattern. Okay, hey Desiree. Hi, Desiree. Thanks for following. Okay, so yeah, we want to acknowledge everybody on TikTok and say thank you. They've been with us for weeks now. Cookie Monster, Avery, Alexis, Dawid, yeah, Jay. Hi, Jay. Good morning. Rana. Good morning, Rana. So yeah, so today's we're kind of like getting adjusted on multiple platforms. So we're kind of like going over a little bit of everything. On Fridays, normally we do vision boards. Today we're just kind of getting adjusted to the new system, and we're getting adjusted to being on 5 different platforms at once. So it's kind of like we're kind of like international. But I just want to show you some things. So you can make a vision board. I made this one. You can make a vision board like this. I made this for a pair of shoes, but then I wasn't interested in it, so I didn't use it very much. But all it takes is creating a snapshot of something on the web and then use it as your lock screen. Because every time you lift up your phone, every time you go to use your phone, you're going to see the image. Okay? And that's very important. The number one thing that helps your subconscious manifest is imagery. Okay? Images. So visualization, there's 2 types of visualization that we do. Okay, the first type is we look, so this is my gratitude board. A gratitude board is a vision board that you create with things you already have. A vision board is something you create with goals on it or things that you wish to achieve. So this is a gratitude board. So when I look at this, I call to mind like what I'm grateful for. So I look at these things or things I've done or my company logo, stuff like that, and I just say what I'm grateful for. I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. So I look at the gratitude board. Now I don't know how gratitude works. I wish I could explain that to you, but I can tell you that ever since I've been doing it, since 2007, like amazing things have happened, and my whole life has changed. And affirmations, when you write your affirmations, it's good to express gratitude as well. Okay, so I am so happy and grateful now that, okay, and then write the rest of it out, whatever your intention is. So, and this is not mystical, like I'm saying, it's not mystical, this is subconscious. So, your subconscious is responsible for a lot of stuff. And that's why, when they say what goes around comes around and how words are powerful, they say that because when you speak something against someone, your subconscious doesn't know if you're speaking it to them or if you're speaking it to yourself. Okay? So your subconscious will take that as instruction. And that's why. Okay? And that's why we get back whatever we dish out. Okay? Because it comes back. And sometimes it can come back for a long time. It depends. If you don't change your paradigm, it can keep coming back. So Dr. Joe Dispenza describes it this way. He says, your body learns these habits, right? Better than your conscious mind. Your body learns. So when your body learns it, it's your subconscious. And then you wake up one day and you bring all your worries and problems from yesterday into today. Now they're here into today. And then you go to bed tonight. When you wake up tomorrow, if you haven't changed your paradigm, guess what? You bring it into tomorrow. Okay, and then you go through cycles and cycles and years of this, and then what? And then one day there's no tomorrow. One day you die, one day you pass away, and then what? Well, you've lived the same life over and over and over and over and over and over and over the whole way, right? The same habits, the same amount of money, the same amount of anything, everything, right? The same everything. it's just the subconscious learns in repetition, and that's why it's the same. So you wonder, like, why do I always have the same problems? It's repetition. Your subconscious is feeding you what you're giving it. It's going, okay, well, what are we doing? We're making mistakes today? Okay. Well, what? We're screwing up the math on this today? Okay. Well, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Why? Well, the paradigm is I'm bad at math. That kind of thing. Okay. So, hey, Desiree. How you doing, Desiree? Good morning. Aloha from Hawaii. Desiree just joined us. We're on 5 platforms this morning. I don't want to mention them all because our algorithm on TikTok is very sensitive, but we are on 5 different platforms. So good morning, Desiree. Do you have a question? Go ahead and ask. You can ask anything. So your subconscious is responsible for more than you think. If you're prone to worry, okay. I had an uncle once that was a worrier. We used to call him a worrier, and he just had that program in his subconscious. So he would worry. So worry can become a habit. Anything can become a habit. Human beings are super sensitive. Anything can become a habit, okay? And there is such thing as too much of a good thing, okay? But your subconscious will keep producing it. It will keep producing it. Just listening and hanging out. Cool, Desiree. We're talking about the subconscious and manifestation and how manifestation happens through the subconscious. So let's recap, okay? Because we're almost done, and yeah, it's been an experience. 5 platforms this morning, so things are pretty different moving forward. So anyway, let's recap, okay? So your conscious mind, okay, is the frontal lobe of your brain that thinks a million thoughts all day long, right? The most predominant thoughts go into your subconscious. Okay. Now, when the majority of what you think goes into your subconscious, they form your beliefs. Okay. When your beliefs are formed, okay, your beliefs create your paradigm, your overall understanding of everything, how you act about stuff, how you feel about stuff, how you react to things, that kind of thing. Okay. And your paradigm is responsible for your actions. So it will produce actions based upon what you believe. Okay, now when you start to change your paradigm, what you're really doing, you need to start at so imagine a tree. The roots are your beliefs, your core beliefs. Your paradigm is the trunk of the tree. Your actions are the fruits of the tree, okay, because that's produced by your paradigm. Okay, so that's like the fruits of the tree. So if you look at it that way, right, in order to change your paradigm, you have to change the roots. Okay, you have to change the core beliefs. And how do you change the core beliefs really quickly? With one of these. Okay, so I'll show you one of my tablets down here. This is one of my used tablets, and it's really important that I show my clients this all the time because it's important that if you're talking the talk, you need to walk the walk, right? And so anyway, yeah. So this is my last one. I'm on a brand new one right now. This is the new one. So. That's one of my expired ones. This is the new one, and then yeah, it's not. I didn't use that much of it, not yet. So it's there. It's like that. Okay. So it's really important that you do affirmations. Now affirmations are not just done when you want something. Affirmations are done to keep your subconscious. Number one, to keep your subconscious active. Okay, because your subconscious operates like a muscle. If you don't use it, or if you just kind of don't direct it, it'll just think whatever's. It'll just do whatever's. You'll keep getting patterns that are stored there. But if you start changing your patterns, you start changing your core beliefs, you start writing them in, you start speaking them. Okay, so you write your affirmation once in the morning, and then you recite it. You read it out loud to yourself once every evening. Okay, now you want to do it when you first wake up because your brain is in theta state. We'll go over brainwave states and stuff a little bit later, another time. But you need to speak it out loud when your brain is in theta state, when you're going off to sleep. Okay, in the evening you're fully relaxed, you're ready to put your head on your pillow and float off to sleep. That's when you speak it out loud. So I recommend keeping it by your bedside. And just write it once when you first get up. Write your affirmation, whatever it is, and you should do the same affirmation for 60 days. Okay, it takes 60 days to form a new habit, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so do it for 60 days, and then read it out loud in the evening, and you'll notice that things will happen in 60 days. So, and what I'm talking about, things will happen, is whatever your goal is, whatever you're writing down for your goal, and it could be money, it could be love. It doesn't have to be a material thing. It could be it could be you being more efficient. I am so happy and grateful now that I am more efficient in my work. Thank you. You know, that kind of thing. So you can write for that too. Okay, you can write an affirmation for anything, like literally anything. So when I first did this, right, this was back in 2007. I did it for 2 months, and I told myself, well, I'm going to write it down. So I was writing like random ones, right? I was writing random affirmations for 2 months. And I said, you know, if this doesn't work, I'm never, ever, ever doing it again. Well, as you can tell, I'm still doing it, right? Because I look back at the 2 months and I go, wow, this happened. Wow, that happened. Wow, this happened. And so many things happened that I wrote down. Now, not everything happened, not everything, but the majority happened. So, you think I was going to continue? Of course, right? Because it happens. So from 2007 till today, if you go on my account, so here, I'll show you how to find me. Okay, so this will be real easy for you. There you go. So we've got 152,600 followers on our TikTok. We're very grateful for you guys. Okay, so there you go. Okay, I'm not used to working on multiple platforms yet, but anyway, so that's our account. Now on this account, I have a video where that I did like years and years and years ago. I'm not gonna play the audio, but here's the one I did years and years ago, and it was 10 years of affirmations. So 10 years of it. And I saved all of the legal pads. And the reason I saved all of the legal pads is because I want to show my clients, like, okay, look, I'm doing this and it's working for me. And if it works for me, it can work for you. Okay, so basically that was the purpose of the video. And yeah, that was years and years ago. But I still do it. And it's important. Now, it's not journaling, okay? It's different. This is not like journaling. Journaling, I don't recommend journaling very often. Okay, it depends on what kind of journaling you're doing. If you're doing the kind of journaling like I woke up today and then I went to the store and then I came home, and if you're doing that kind of journaling, you're writing about the past. Okay, and if you're writing about the past, guess what? That goes in your subconscious. Okay, so you don't want to be writing about the past. You want to be writing about what you want to bring into your life. Okay, you want to express gratitude for it. You want to feel like you have it already. You want to really embrace it like it's happening right now. And when you write your affirmations, you have to be in a good mood, okay? Don't write affirmations if you're in a bad mood. If you're not feeling it, literally, if you're not feeling it, like, don't write it, okay? Because it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out as good, not half as good. In fact, if you're angry, you shouldn't be doing any of that because more anger will come. So, so like attracts like, basically, is what I'm saying, right? Whatever you put out, you get back. Okay, so when you make your intentions, when you write your intentions or your affirmations, okay, make sure you're in a good mood, make sure you're happy, because you want to send out a good vibration. Okay, now your heart produces the biggest vibration, your heart chakra. Now here's the thing, right? When you do the straight tones, the vocalization exercise, okay, the vocalization exercise actually opens your throat chakra. And right after that, the heart chakra opens. So we used to have a box of Kleenex at my physical location, at my office that I had for 23 years. And we used to keep a box of Kleenex on the we had like a table, a small table. And we had a box of Kleenex because people would have heart chakra opening moments, okay? And that's when tears just come. Because people are just, and they're the happy tears, right? But people hit those tones with their voice, and it's like magic, and it's just bam, it just happens. Okay, not magic like magic show magic, but you know what I'm saying. It's amazing. It's really amazing, and people hit that note with their voice, and it triggers tears, and they're just in happy tears. And that's the heart chakra opening. That's what happens when your heart chakra opens. So it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But anyway, so write your affirmations. Now, your meditation, what should you do? Okay, recapping meditation from yesterday. 5 minutes is good if you can do 5 minutes. That's a long period of time when you're first doing it. Okay, so set your phone timer. So I have a phone timer here, and I set mine. And what is my phone timer on? See, this is mine. 30 minutes. 30 minutes right here. And all I do is open it and start it. Okay, you can do the same thing. If you don't have an iPhone, you have some different phone that probably works a different way, but same idea. Okay, and then sit still. You just need to sit still. You don't even need a mantra in the beginning. Okay, once you work your way up to 10 minutes, okay, then you can start introducing things that you want to say in your meditation. But you should know that prayer and meditation are both important. Okay, prayer is asking. Okay, the whole thing is ask, believe, receive. The whole process is ask, believe, receive. So when you're praying, you're asking. When you're meditating, you're listening. Okay, so meditation is listening, prayer is asking. You need to do both. So do both. Okay, so that's affirmations, meditation. Now vocalization, we went over that. Vocalization is speaking the dream or speaking your affirmation before you go to sleep at night. It's also the process that we use with our clients with vocal expression. And then visualization. Visualization is important. It's seeing yourself there, wherever there is for you, whatever your goals are. Seeing yourself with your goal is very important. You need to imagine, okay? Don't leave your imagination behind. A lot of people do that. You know, as they get older, as they grow up, they go, oh, that's kid stuff, and they leave it behind. Don't do that. Imagination is very important. It's part of the visualization process. Einstein said education will take you from A to Z. Imagination will take you everywhere because it is unlimited. Okay, it's unlimited. There's an unlimited amount of imagining that you can do as long as you're alive. Okay, so keep imagining, keep using your imagination. If you have a vivid imagination, that's even better. Okay, vivid in living colors, like you can imagine like anything. Okay, but keep doing that because that's part of the visualization process. Now the other side is you have to see yourself worthy. You have to see yourself worthy of the things that you are trying to manifest in your world or your goals that you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so basically, you know, those are the 4 pillars. Okay, so it's affirmation, meditation, vocalization, and visualization. If you do all these 4 things and you aim it at one thing, you will accomplish it. That's the way I did my Waikiki show. That's the way I did my businesses. That's the way I did like everything since 2007. Now, before that, a lot of good stuff happened to me, and I did not know that I was using the law of attraction method. Manifestation method, and I didn't know it was my subconscious. But then when I found out it was my subconscious, I go, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. So the things you think about the most are the things that are going to be brought into your world. Okay, they're going to be brought into your world because you have the desire, because you're thinking the thoughts, because they go into your subconscious and become beliefs, because your beliefs produce your paradigm, and your paradigm produces your actions, and your actions get your results. That's the way it works, okay? So don't forget to dream big, ask big, okay? Because let's say if it was money, if you're asking for 10,000, okay, versus 5,000, if you only get 6,000, are you gonna be happy? Of course you are, right? Okay, so dream big, ask big, and even if you get under that, it's okay. There's a lot of time. I only went up to like $5,000, and then I started manifesting clients instead of money. I just switched it, but I went up, as far as $5,000 with affirmations that turned out. So you can do it too. If I can, anybody can. Okay, you can. So I always say that we teach the power of can. So until next time, Desiree, thank you. Avery, thank you. Alexis, Jules, thank you for working hard behind the scenes over here and moderating. We appreciate you. And Yannick, thank you for being here as well. So and thank everybody on your respective platforms. If you're seeing me on different platforms other than TikTok right now, thank you very much for being here. We are on 5 different platforms. We're just not mentioning them, but we appreciate you. And we shall see you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Hawaii Pacific time. Yeah, you're very welcome, Desiree. Thank you.